Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, as you can see on the screen, we are going to be going over the Calling Warsaw Day 1 breakdown. I'm going to go over the meta, how the conversion rates were, how heroes performed, who's in the top 8 going into Day 2, and so on and so forth. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. We'll get right into it. One quick note for spoilers. I'm not going to do like a spoiler recap today for Assassins. My spoiler comes out tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's a ninja spoiler, and it's going to be weird to do like a recap tonight after putting out this video, in my opinion, and I don't want to do it tomorrow. So I'm just going to wait until probably Monday morning to talk about like the Assassin and Ninja cards, because they should pretty much all be spoiled by then. So that'll be really cool. So keep on the lookout for that. But as you can see here, we had 462 players in Day 1 of the Calling Warsaw. Pretty sizable calling. I'm glad to see the turnout. We had 102 KOs. KO made up 22% of the meta share for Day 1. Didn't quite convert, honestly, but we'll talk about that in a second. But nonetheless, still 22%. 1 out of every 5 players, just over 1 out of every 5 players is a KO player in this event, which is pretty nuts. The biggest surprise to me is Dorinthia. I did not expect Dorinthia to be the second most represented deck at 11%. I heard that there are some Decimator Dorinthias rolling around, so that might have boosted the numbers. But I honestly expected it to be KO, Azalea, Victor, and then Prism Kasai at 4th and 5th, and then maybe Dorinthia now at like where Kasai is, right? So I expected pretty much Kasai and Dorinthia to flip, and then Kasai is like the 4th most rep deck. So that was the biggest surprise to me at the top. The other big surprise is Bolton. I know Bolton's in a pretty decent spot right now, but 19 Boltons is a lot. I thought Bolton would be down at like the 10 range, honestly, and so on and so forth. But yeah, most of all these made sense. No Betsy, sadly. 2 Arachne were really cool. Neither one of them made Day 2, sadly, but surprise, spoiler alert, but it's all good. Really cool, diverse meta. Even with KO being so dominant most in representation, it's still a diverse meta. We still have a lot of heroes that have a lot of good shots to make it, so on and so forth. So after Day 1, here was the top 8. Going into Day 2, Brody Spurlock going across the pond to do well at yet another event after getting top 8 at the Battle Hardened Richmond. Immediately flies over, going undefeated Day 1 at the Calling Warsaw on Azalea. Obviously been really accomplished with Azalea so far, doing really well with the hero, so continuing that. And then we also have, I think that's Yorgos. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, please let me know in the comments. But also 7-0 on Azalea. We have Joachim on Dash at 7-0, and then the last undefeated deck is Arthur, Pro Tour winner, Extra, my player, at 7-0 on KO, who was on round 1 of the stream last night. I ended up watching like 2 rounds of it and then went to bed because it was just like 4 a.m. The biggest surprise in this so far, going into Day 2, the Decimator Boltons. Same team, same list apparently, or near, maybe it's a card 2 different, who knows, but they're same team, same list, and they're on Decimator Bolton, and both of them are in the top 8 going into Day 2, which is pretty cool. I hope they continue to have success. Be really interesting. Then we have a Levi and a Victor. So other thing here is KO being 22% of the meta share, but only having 1 going into the top 8 decks going into Day 2. I know that there's a Kano at 9th and a Prism at 11th, which is also really interesting. So keep on the lookout for those heroes as well. But this was a pretty decent spread, not too bad. Azalea is still amazing, and even though I do think in a vacuum KO is the best deck in the format, Azalea has so many tools that can just, win games, like hit the win button and just dominate games, pun intended. So really excited to see what happens in Day 2. Here's the Day 2 total number representation. We have 22 KOs, which is about, I think, let's see, this is the percentage numbers. Yeah, 22% of the KOs made Day 2. At 22 total KOs, which is pretty interesting. 12 Victors, 12 Dorinthias, and it goes down the line there. Of note, the 1 Reinar sadly did not make it. 2 out of 6 of the Riptides, or 7 of the Riptides made it, which is really interesting. Bravo, 3 out of 10 of the Bravos made it. Kano had it kind of a weird rate as well. But yeah, here's pretty much where we stand after Day 1 in terms of representation. When you look at the Bolton list, there's 3 Boltons in Day 2, and there was a total of 19 Boltons starting out. So Bolton actually had kind of a conversion rate, but the Decimator Bolton list that people tuned is obviously doing really good. Katsu also struggled a little bit, sadly. There was a total of 19 Katsus, and only 3 of them made Day 2, so same conversion rate as Bolton. and 2 out of the 6 of the Riptide. So this number is the percentage conversion. So Dash.io obviously converted the most because 1 out of 2 made it. OG Dash doing decently well, even though they have small representation. The biggest thing here is, again, it's KO. Only 1 out of 5 KOs made day 2. That's a little bit low for what you want to see for a deck that's very well represented and is considered to be the best deck in the format by a lot of people, because like you don't have to have a lot of KOs in top 8. Like, it is what it is, but only a fifth of the KOs making day 2, that can be a little, feels bad. Fi, sadly, none of the Fi's made day 2. None of the Viscerize, Arachnes, Maxes, or Teklavosins. Did the one Rhino make it? I don't think the one Rhino made it. Maybe I'm wrong. But regardless, this was the percentage points. So we'll have to see what happens. But again, the top 8 going into day 2 is 2 Azaleas, a KO, 2 Decimator, Boltons, a Leviah, a Victor, and a Dash. I hope Kano ends up going into it. I think Kano is pretty decently positioned with these decks. Although the Decimator Bolton apparently beat a Kano. I want to know how that happened, but we'll have to see. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down below. This is the day 1 recap for the Calling Warsaw. We'll go over the day 2 a little bit later. Try to pencil it in between all these spoilers. Let me know also in the comments down below what you've been most excited to see out of spoiler season. I'm really excited to do recaps. I'm just kind of trying to find a good time to do it all at once instead of giving you like 7 videos, even though that would be okay, I guess, but I don't know. Let me know what you want me to do in the comments down below. If you want me to put a video out tonight with the Assassin recaps, I can. Let me know. I'll think about it. If I have time, I might end up doing it. We'll see. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this type of content, please leave a like, a comment, or subscribe. If not me, it's totally fine. Go to Nerd Creator. We have a lot of creators doing some cool spoilers. Go to the February page. Look at those creators. Subscribe to them if you haven't already. Have some fun with it. And I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all.